Welcome to North Allegheny, a place where youth and opportunity meet. The 1987-88 school year was indeed a very unique one, but at NA, anything is possible. Here's how some of the students know that they are at NA.
How do you know you're at NA or in NA?
NA, a place where there's no individualism.
I know I'm at NA. When? When what?
When you hear the thoughts for the day over and over again.
The year got off to a rather rough start with a much-publicized strike. The North Allegheny Federation of Teachers did come to an agreement with the school board, and students were back in classes on the 10th of September. However, this was only a week and a half later than the scheduled start. But to put an even larger damper on the situation, the annual homecoming bonfire was canceled. This came as a big disappointment to the seniors, since this was their last year at NA. But Saturday came, and the homecoming parade was on. There was quite a turnout at Newman Stadium on this beautiful day in October. The NA Tiger Marching Band kept the crowd entertained with a few of their selections before the big game, which was soon approaching. The crowd was becoming more and more excited as the parade circled the field several times so people could see everything. This year added a special attraction in place of the canceled bonfire, the Beaver Valley Skydivers. The wind was just perfect for parachuting on this day as the divers plummeted from several thousand feet in the air to the X on the football field below. In the parade we see Christy Harlan, Jody Mandera with Tammy Folkler, and this year's homecoming queen, Megan McCracken. And finally, the 1987-88 float was revealed with the North Allegheny cheerleaders escorting it. This year's theme was the classic movies. As you can plainly see, the senior class movie was Godzilla. The float was a result of much last-minute hurrying to get the job done, but as always, it turned out as good as the ones from previous years. Finally, the game began. Augie Leon made this touchdown, contributing to the final score of 39-0, a shutout for the Tigers. Yes, this weekend was a memorable one, but how do other students know when other weekends are approaching?
We usually know when that partying atmosphere comes around, that's when the weekend's coming around. What do you say, Dwayne? Step in this picture over here and get your ugly mug in the camera. Partying atmosphere starts to roll around Friday morning. That's about it.
So you don't go to school on Fridays?
Oh, we do. We just talk about it Fridays. I'm planning for Friday and Saturday night.
When I ask him for money.
I never have money.
Weekends were always something students looked forward to. Some spent the night at the movies where there was always a large variety of entertainment. Or for something different, the new Super Saver Cinemas at Northway Mall offered second-run movies at a lower price. If students wished to do some shopping or just hanging out, they could meander about the Ross Park Mall. And if all else failed, there was always the option of stopping in at McDonald's to see what other bored NAers were doing. Some found themselves at the bowling alley shooting some pool or actually bowling a few games. And finally, to end the weekend, some North Allegheny students could be found at Memories dancing the night away. Of course, social life outside of school was just as important during school. Students took all opportunities to get together during their free time. Some went to the library during a study hall to try and get some work done, knowing how strong the social atmosphere there would be. If students could not get together in the library, there were always those few minutes between classes in the locker room areas, or, as always, during the 40 minutes allowed for lunch. The social life in the cafeteria was enjoyable, where there was always something to talk about, including that big concert coming up, U2. The school year got off to a big start with the U2 concert at Three Rivers Stadium. It took place on a cold October night, but that did not matter to the crowd as the band rocked the point 4 hours. Then, in January, Def Leppard returned to the Civic Arena for the first time in 4 years. This was felt to be long overdue since they had gone through some hardships with the drummer losing his left arm in a car accident. But this concert was indeed one of the best metal concerts in a long time. Not more than 3 weeks later, Whitesnake brought the arena to its knees. The band had gone through some changes in members since they formed over a decade ago, but Whitesnake showed just what it takes to remain on top. The lead singer, David Coverdale, is scheduled to marry Tawny Kitaen, star of 3 Whitesnake videos and several feature films. Finally, the year ended with the long-awaited Pink Floyd concert in May. They played to a sold-out crowd in Three Rivers Stadium for hours on end with all of their special lighting effects and superb music. But while some seniors were living it up at the big concerts, others were thinking about going to college. Getting the applications in early was something that seniors put much weight on, and many got acceptance notices as early as October. There were a variety of occupations students were looking to study in college, and some still remained undecided. But when asked, here are some things that NA seniors looked for when choosing a college.
I usually look for a college that is as far away from home as possible.
A big campus and a lot of athletic activities and a lot of cute guys.
Rock and roll.
Class of 1988, I think, at North Allegheny has perpetuated the tradition of the last 10, 12, 15 classes by a growing number of, growing percentage of students who are interested in college. We have probably 82 to 85% of this year's class will be applying to college. Seems to be a greater interest in prestige colleges, and as a result, more interest on the part of the students on grade point average, advanced placement courses, and things of this nature. So we do have, we think, a fine class this year, and we feel that a very successful group as far as their academics are concerned, and that they will undoubtedly be very successful in the future based upon their applications and the schools to which they've applied and been accepted.
This year, the North Allegheny Tiger wrestling team went to #1 in the nation. Coach Gus D'Agostino comments.
I've been coaching here at North Allegheny for 32 years and teaching physical education. Our wrestling teams have won 20 section championships, 6 WPIL championships, and 4 state championships. This team has won the state title, the WPIL title, the section title, and they also are ranked #1 in the nation. I'm very proud to coach wrestling here at North Allegheny. The wrestling team this year was an exceptional wrestling team. It makes me happy to coach next year because 8 of the varsity members were sophomores, and they're coming back next year.
The delayed fall production eventually became the winter production and opened in mid-January. This was 2 one-act comedies, The Real Inspector Hound and Black Comedy. They both had 2 completely different casts, and they went over well with the audience. Finally, the semester came to an end and new classes began, meaning the year was halfway through. Since many students had taken the required courses, there was room in their schedules to explore new electives. There were a variety to choose from, many being in the diversified arts. Students also took regular classes to strengthen weaknesses. One particular class exclusively offered to seniors was psychology. And now, here is a message to the senior class from Mr. Will, one of NA's psychology teachers.
Okay, I teach psychology for seniors. I've been teaching psychology at North Allegheny for, I believe, 7 years. And I've been asked to say a few things about this year's senior class. I really can't think of any generalities that would best describe the class, but what I can say is that this year's senior class has a lot of good, honest, quality people in it, people I've enjoyed knowing, and it's nice that I have the opportunity to say that. I wish everyone the best of luck in the future, and if you would ever like to attend the Woodville Christmas party, remember it's the Sunday before Christmas every year.
The new semester also brought with it the new hall pass policy. Students no longer had to fill out a slip. Rather, they had to sign out on a log and carry an 8x11 sheet of laminated yellow paper with the teacher's name on it. Meanwhile, new principal Dr. Francis Barnes took office in February.
I'd like to extend 3 messages to the graduating seniors for this school year. First of all, I'd like to extend my appreciation to them for the way that they cooperated with me, the other administrators, and the faculty here at NASH. Secondly, I'd like to extend a note of recognition for these seniors have overcome something that no other group of seniors have had to overcome. This year's rough start with the work stoppage. I think that they responded appropriately, and they have gone on to make a very productive school year out of this school year. And thirdly, I'd like to extend my best wishes to them, and I hope that they achieve whatever goals they have for the next year and for the rest of their lives. Good luck.
Finally, the snow is gone and spring weather arrived. Probably the hottest spot during warm weather was North Park. People gather here to enjoy the outdoors by watching the ducks at Marshall Island. Some found it fit to play tennis on nicer days also. For the people who like lounging around, they can enjoy the outdoors by fishing. And another hangout in North Park was the boathouse. Here one could rent paddle boats and float about on the lake. In March, Mr. Zenovich's fashion merchandising class put together a fashion show, allowing students to get a look at what sort of tuxedos and gowns were in style for the upcoming prom. In April, it was time for the annual North Allegheny Talent Show, but due to a lack of rehearsal participation, it was canceled. The turnout was usually minuscule compared to previous years, but there was just no alternative to this problem. The date was May 6, 1988, 1 month before graduation. The Gateway Party liner had floated away from the dock with the majority of the senior class aboard for the annual senior banquet.
Hi, I'm Brian, and this is Pete, and we're the class of '88.
The seniors mingled on the upper deck before and after dinner to socialize with one another as the party liner sailed around Pittsburgh's Golden Triangle. Seniors were enjoying themselves in the cool breeze that had followed the slight drizzle that came down earlier in the evening. One thing enjoyable about being on deck of the party liner was watching the beautiful sunset behind the skyline of Pittsburgh. But as the night progressed, seniors began dominating the dance floor, showing off their moves to one another. The floor may have been crowded, but the seniors had plenty of room to show their stuff. Here we see Anthony Ditka in his Terrence Trent D'Arby mode. The seniors danced among themselves to songs like The Way You Make Me Feel, Money Money, and Push It. The night was coming to an end, and it was time for the senior class awards to be given out. Chris Solar kicked off the ceremonies.
I just want to make one thing, please. I don't know if I want you to stand up there. If this gets bad, there's no spitting from the balcony.
Sekar Kathiris and Lisa Janicki received the Valedictorian Award. John Fulmer and Tracy Heckert got the Weiner Award. Leah Copley and Dave Gray were voted for having the best personality. The Best Comedian Award went to Donna Mae and Bill Smith, who had this to say.
I'm more than a man. I'm a hot dog.
Then the Oscar Awards went to Sarah Burns and Andy Policelli. The two people most likely to win $1 million were Steve Paterno and Julie Figuera. The host and hostess with the most and mostest awards went to Chrissy Dirksen and Russ Howland. Joe and Josephine Jock were Chris Miller and Megan McCracken, while the biggest flirt award went to Paige Jones and Rich Bowen. The perfect tens of the senior class were Kevin Murphy and Brooke Brenner. And finally, the most school spirit award went to Brian Schroeffel and Ellen Whitehouse. Finally, the senior banquet was over. This signaled the end of the year. Here's what some seniors will miss about NA.
Hall passes. I'm going to miss hall passes. I'm going to miss the yellow hall passes. Yellow hall passes.
Yeah, that's good.
The thing I'll miss most about North Allegheny is the delicious food. Very delicious and nutritional. Seriously. And also what I'll miss about North Allegheny is all my good friends here. Had a great time. I'm going to miss it.
Finally, prom time arrived, and it was the night on the town for NA. This year, the prom was held in the Pittsburgh Hyatt at Chatham Center. Some students decided to go all the way in style, pulling up in stretched limousines. Students mingled a bit in the lobby before and after dinner, admiring each other's outfits while they also waited in line to get their picture taken by Alfred Studios. Finally, dinner was served. There was roast beef, salad, potatoes, and cake for dessert. Couples sat at round tables of 10 so that they could socialize with each other. all the badinage and fine cuisine built up to an excess amount of energy that had to be released in some fashion. The small but cozy dance floor afforded the perfect outlet for the enervation of all the prom participants. The night was still young. For some, it was only beginning. There was still post-prom to go to at the high school, so at 11:30, people hopped into their cars and proceeded onward to the school. The post-prom began at 12 o'clock midnight and ran until 5 a.m. Most students stayed the duration and took advantage of the many activities going on, such as the Monte Carlo casino set up in the gym. Here, people played roulette, blackjack, and other games with paper money for prizes to be given away later at a Chinese auction. These are some of the many prizes that were available to those who struck it rich at the gambling tables. There were also many door prizes on hand for those lucky people who had the winning numbers. Another activity that sparked interest was the hypnotist. At approximately 2:30 a.m., students in the auditorium gathered to be subconsciously subdued. Through this process, several people actually did fall victim to the hypnotist. For the more astrologically oriented person, a palm reader was on hand to foresee the futures of the graduating seniors. By reading the palms, Madam X could tell how successful or hopeless one might be. There was also a table of hors d'oeuvres with a touch of French class that students could feast on while dancing. The night was coming to a halt as the sun broke through the eastern horizon to mark the dawn of a new day and the end of an enjoyable evening. Everybody could sense the intense realization that the end was finally drawing to a close. Here now are some senior farewells from members of the graduating class of 1988.
Hi, this is Greg Darian. They've asked me to give my fond farewell to NA, so I wrote down a short couple little bit of words. Okay, first I'd like to thank the faculty and the administrators for finally tuning me into the future success story that I'm going to become. And yeah, and thanks for everything else. I'm really glad I've been here, and I'll see you in 10 years.
Hi, I'm Ben Clark, and I just got pulled out of the halls to say this. Not actually, this is my class, and I always said it would be a cold day in June before I talked in front of a camera, but here I am. Something from the heart, something to say to the seniors. Well, I'll say what's corny and what works, but it's true. Success does not always bring happiness, but when you're out there and you have happiness, that in itself is a form of success.
Okay, I'm Jennifer Hosevar, and this year has been a lot of fun. I think the most memorable thing was the senior banquet. We had a lot of fun there. I'm going to Kent State next year, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Teresa Eigner, and I'd like to thank all the teachers who gave me all their support and gave me all the work that pushed me through and make me get into Penn State now.
Hi, I'm Kathy Marisha. I want to say that I really liked it here this year. I made a lot of friends that I'm going to remember throughout my entire life.
Hi, my name is David Turner. I'm an exchange student from Colombia, and I've been here for the whole year. Thanks for a great year. Hasta la vista, la berraquera el año que estuve aquí.
Hi, I'm Dave Vandervoort, and this is Mike Conkle. And we're here telling about what we liked about this year, and I kind of liked, I liked being in NATV for one, and starring in the ever-popular Music Emporium, and seeing all my friends again, it was a lot of fun. What about you?
Well, I like the fire drills, I thought they were really nice, going outside, getting away from the class,
Yeah.
And, that was about it.
I like the snow.
All right, my name's Brad Blakely, and I'm a senior at NA High School, and all I can say is I'm really glad to be getting out, and my favorite memory was the bonfire.
Advice to the junior class. Well, the most advice I can give to the junior class is to not blow off too much their senior year, because it's real important to try and keep your mind on your studies going to college, because if you don't keep it on there, you might not get into the college of your choice. That's what happened to me.
Hello, my name's Richard Filiaggi, and I guess my most memorable experience was the end of the swim season, and what I hate the most is the fact that we only have 3 days left, and they're dragging on very slow.
Hi, my name's Erin Flynn.
And I'm Kristen Ailey.
And the most memorable experience of this year probably has to be when I saw a kid fall down all 3 flights of stairs and get up and pretend I didn't see him, but I saw him.
And mine was probably my record of having only come for 5 full weeks of school this year, because I thrive on school.
We thrive on school. Goodbye.
Thrive.
One time I was going out to lunch, and I looked in my rearview mirror, and I saw Dr. Johnson up on top of the school with his binoculars, getting down license plate numbers of people going out to lunch.
Hi, I'm Vondell Turner, and I'm a senior here. This is my first year. I enjoyed the school year, and I enjoyed gymnastics because we're state champion, and I'm a state champion long jump for track. And this has been a great year.
Okay, this is Ellen Sherman.
This is Shimada Sheffield. And Shelly Plisco.
I know I'm going to miss Mrs. Kraft and Mr. McDonald's strange little macabre sessions.
Yeah, and I'll miss the lunar jello in the cafeteria.
And I'm going to miss Ellen pulling my pigtails in the first grade.
We are going to miss a lot of things at North Allegheny, but really, there are a lot of things that we won't miss, like having notarized passes to go to the bathroom. Serious lack of men.
To have air conditioning in the middle of winter time.
But we are going to miss the fun at North Allegheny.
My name is Zoo, Bob Wazalewski.
Stacy Mozak.
Katie McCourt.
I got a little motto for everyone to live by out there. No shirt, no shoes, no dice.
This year has been really memorable. I'm going to miss my friends and teachers and looking forward to college.
I'd just like to say goodbye to all my friends I'm not going to see anymore, and good luck.
I want to say this year's been really cool. It's been a good senior year for all of us, I think.
We have one thing to say to everyone. We don't really have any parting words, but would just like to say, vision. It is a parting word.
Bob? Go ahead, Chris.
Chris.
Eric.
And Tracy. I guess the only thing I can say to you guys is, see you in 20 years and it's been real.
No, it hasn't.
My name's not Bob.
Hi, this is Tom Hough. I am a senior, and I would like to wish all the other seniors and even juniors in this building good luck in their careers and at college or wherever your future plans may be. And I sure hope that truck doesn't have a blowout because it's going to sound terrible. Well, he already did, so I guess we're too late on that. But anyhow, this is Tom Hough, and thanks for having me on.
Hello, my name is Matt White, and I'd just like to say hello to Mr. Will. He's my favorite class this year, and for him to have a great year next year. And by the way, I thought you might like to see this. I'll flex for you. There you go, buddy. Good luck next year, all right? See.
Some of the best NA graduates would like to say goodbye to the class of 1988. Jennifer Donnelly, Angela Cardillo, Amy Goldbaugh, Tammy Snyder, and Michelle Toma. Okay, ready? Give me a beat. Na 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 na, na 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 na, hey hey hey, goodbye. Woo! We are finally NA alumni. Woo! Go.
Hi, I'm Kevin Murphy. North Allegheny was fun while it lasted, but 4.5 hours, we're done.
Just want to say that I've only been here for 7 months, but it's been a lot of fun. I had a blast my senior year. It's been really awesome. And 88 was #1. Choose to see.
This was the day to end all days, the assembly to end all assemblies, the speeches to end all speeches, and the final moment to end all moments spent at North Allegheny. Graduation ceremonies were held in Newman Stadium on June 11th, 1988 at 10 a.m. to a crowd of over 1,000 people with both family and friends of the graduates there to support the class of '88 in any form. One NA student, David Stragan, zealously showed his school spirit by painting his 1979 Monte Carlo black and gold to show his love for NA.
Parents, honored guests, faculty members, relatives, and of course, almost alumni of North Allegheny High School. My name is Chris Saul, and I welcome you to the commencement ceremony of the class of 1988. My final address is dedicated to my parents and my brothers for their infinite love and inspiration. An old Chinese proverb says a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, I hope I can get around that today because what I want to do is paint pictures with words that represent the personality and the character of the class of 1988. I call it the Class of '88's Living Yearbook. I hope both parents and students alike will be able to see the pictures with me. Some are sad, some are out of focus, some of them tell a story, and some of them are extraordinary. Some may never happen again, but in any case, all of them are ones we can take with us from our senior year. Parents, if you don't understand a few of them, please don't interrogate your children after the program. Remember, some things are better left unknown. Picture with me Matt White, with braces on his elbows and cuts and gashes on his face, as he wears down and pins his wrestling opponent in the third period. No pain, no gain. Visualize the band, cheerleaders, and football team dancing on the field as the team defeats Gateway 10-6, the first playoff win in 4 years, signifying the resurgence of NA football. See Scott Sofkwitz as he uses his so-called wild man kick that crowns him the state champion. Look at Athletic Director Russ Cerny as he stands in front of the student body screaming, "Rip, zip, zow." There's one I always remember I don't think I'll ever understand. Try to see Dr. Barnes' hands after a healthy day of handshaking. Get excited as the basketball team comes back from 15 points behind to win the last game of the season against North Hills. Picture yourself looking in the library window as students challenge their education and pull their hair out while taking advanced placement exams. Sing with Sherry Dabowski and Dietrich Schielberg as they use their vocal talents to lead the regional state choir and the Pennsylvania All-State Chorus. Drive into the student parking lot and realize that the best parking spots are the ones you make on your own. Read through the pages of the award-winning literary magazine Variations and the rated 5-star yearbook to see creativity in action. Salute Brad Johnson, who has accepted an Academy appointment, a very high honor. Take a trip with the wrestling team to Cleveland, Ohio, to challenge the so-called #1 team in the nation and defeat them, to bring home to North Allegheny the national championship. Visualize an empty space behind the baseball field where the bonfire used to be held. Used to be. I said some were sad, didn't I? Receive awards with 3 seniors who have accepted National Merit Scholarships. John Payson, Benny Wu, and Jen Cadis. Hard work pays off. Remember, the staff pacing back and forth in front of the building during the, quote, work stoppage. Using another sense, on your way home, I want you to turn the treble on your car stereo all the way down and turn the bass all the way up and realize what it is to eat lunch in the NA cafeteria. Listen to the PA system as you hear a student challenged to run naked through the hallways for $42 million. Remember, watch yourself in this one. I said listen, not visualize. Picture 3 senior girls, Angie Evans, Vondell Turner, and Kim Weiland, as they lead the gymnastics team to national recognition, an undefeated record, and the state title. Walk through the hallways between periods and see couples lining the walls. How you finish that picture is up to you. Count the incredible amount of donations the benevolent senior class has given our fine men in blue this year for planting flowers. Watch as Kevin Murphy, Vondell Turner, and Jamie Antonson soar like no one in NA ever has and take home records in the high jump and the long jump. Get wet with Jeff Joswiak and Evan Smith, Jeff finishing 2nd and Evan finishing 4th in Pennsylvania. Think of how much work it must have taken to be the #1 girl and guy in the class of '88. #1 of 675 is nothing to be shy about. Come with seniors as they volunteer their time to help worthy causes, such as the mentally ill at Woodville. Run in the 7:40 a.m. race through the parking lot, Monday through Friday, to get to your first period on time. Stroll down the hallway and realize that every turn you take, you see a clock with a different time. In North Allegheny, not only do we change classes, but we change time zones. Dream with me the day when our children can ride up Pine Creek Hill in both lanes. There's one more thing I want you to visualize today, and that's a group of 675 classy students who represent determination and perseverance to succeed. This one's real easy, because they sit before you today. To the class of '88, I wish you all the best of luck. May you live as long as you want, and never want as long as you live. Thank you very much.
Graduation was finally over, and the diplomas were in the hands of the 1988 graduated seniors. The moment arrived after 12 long years for the graduates to finally hear these words.
Now it is my honor to indicate that you have attained graduate status as specified by the laws of Pennsylvania and the policies of the North Allegheny School District.
As producer of this video, I'd like to thank all who helped make it what it came to be. After well in excess of 100 hours of writing, filming, and editing this video, I can honestly say that I'm very proud of it, and I'm sure you'll agree that it was well worth the price you paid. My message to the senior class of 1988, or graduated class of 1988, is that when you're out on your own and you think that there's nowhere left to turn, just remember these famous words.
Oh, and guess what? It's going to get even better.